bloody hell am I going to talk about on this week's Homebrew Wednesday? Oh yeah. Well, happy Homebrew Wednesday, my fellow brewtubers. Cheers and beers. I have a little story to tell you this week. This, sadly, not one of mine. In fact, it's not even real beer. It's no alcohol Beck's, the Beck's Blue. I've actually run out of beer and wine and cider, so I'm pretty much scraping the barrel, to be fair. So what I'm going to do this week is, I had a pretty busy weekend. I'm going to show you what I've put down over the weekend to get me stocks back up. And this is an interesting one. Beck's Blue. No alcohol. So I thought I would read the bottle because it tastes just like Beck's, pretty much. Not a big Beck's fan as it goes. It tastes just like Beck's. If you read the bottle, it says that this is brewed in exactly the same way that normal Beck's is brewed, and they remove the alcohol at the end. How the feck do they do that? What's that all about? I can't think of any good way of doing that, to be fair. I mean, maybe you could distill it perhaps, but then surely it'd affect the taste of the beer, it being boiled. I don't know. Anybody got any ideas? Let me know in the comments down below. It's not bad considering there's no alcohol in it, but you know, it's clearly just a pretender. Anyway, let me show you what else I got going on this week. Right, you may remember me discussing in last week's Homebrew Wednesday what I was going to do. So let me show you what I've done. Over here on my nicely repaired shelf, and now that actually works properly, is my Cooper's Pilsner. Now I did a Hallertau hop tea. I boiled 2 litres of water with 25 grams of Hallertau leaf hops for 8-minute boil. I was going to do 10, but it started, you could tell the fresh smell started to disappear, so I flamed out at 8 minutes, and then I pitched that in and then made the beer kit up as you would normally make it up. Made it up to just over 21 litres, and you can probably actually see there is a bit of a krausen there. Now I have got my Brewtherm immersion heater in there. However, because we're suffering a mini heat wave in this country, in the UK, it may be in there but it's not actually plugged in. And to be fair, you guys can see that down there, look. It's currently sat at 24 degrees, and to be fair, it's a bit cooler today than it has been the last few days. I did this on Saturday, and it's been sat sort of near 26, 25, 26 over the weekend up to today. It's cooled down a little bit. But you can see the airlock has slowed down quite significantly. But quite looking forward to that. It's going to be the first beer that goes into my new corny keg system, which I will show you the ingredients of later. Also, I did my Wilco's 30 bottle wine kit. Ooh, look! I wonder what they are there. I wonder what that's all about. Anyway, we'll come back to that. This is my Cabernet Sauvignon Wilco's kit. Did that on Sunday, I think. So that's been sat a few days now. It's Tuesday today, and that's sat at 26. No heating. This is just the ambient temperature at the moment in my brew laundry. To be fair, this is probably the coolest place in the house, and I can't think of any way of cooling it down. The Pilsner recommends brewing range of 21 to 27, so for the first few days it was right at the top of the range. It's cooled down a little bit now. My immersion heater is set to 21, so if it was cold outside, that would have been a beautiful 21 degrees all day long for the full period of the fermentation. But sadly it's a bit warm, and I can't think of a good way of cooling it down. I ain't really got the space to make an ice bath. So there's 30 bottles of Cabernet Sauvignon. I did the 6 bottle wine kit, and that's quite nice. So I've done the 30 bottle kit now. I've been having a problem. I've just changed my airlock from one of those, that type, to this type in a cork bung rather than a rubber bung, because this is definitely fermenting. Whether you can hear that. It's definitely fermenting, but nothing is happening in the airlock. To all intents and purposes, nothing happening, but it's definitely fermenting. You can hear it when you lift the lid. You can see the bubbles coming up. So that's going to come out at about 10 10%, that's a bit short actually. I brewed it with the 3.5 kilos of dextrose it recommends. To be fair, it would have been better if I hadn't have pitched the yeast before I checked the original gravity. I would have slung the other half a kilo of dextrose in just to bring it back up to the 12% mark that it recommends. But anyway, I didn't do that, so 10% one's still going to be tasty if it's anything like the previous one. I would like a little suggestion from you guys and girls out there, to be fair. I watched a video that Big CQ did, and he used some French oak chips in a red wine to give the finished wine a more oaky flavour. What I'm considering doing with this is I'm going to bottle up about 8 bottles, and then I'm going to put the rest in the bag in the box system. But I was looking to split the batch in half and do half with oak chips and half as normal, and then do a side-by-side comparison. What do you think? That's a good idea. How many oak chips do you think I'd need for about 10 litres, let's say, for argument's sake, a 10 litre batch? Would one of those small packs be enough, or do I need to double up? I don't want to make it too strong, but I do definitely want some oaky flavour in there. Right, I don't know whether you watched my previous Homebrew Wednesday, but I did discuss that I was going to do black currant hard apple cider. And I did that over the weekends. Have a look at this. There she is. Oh, let me just have a little slurp of the old beer. Preferably without throwing it all down me, that'd be a good start. Right, so you can see there, to be fair, that was going great guns, and I put this in my airing cupboard. Obviously the heating's not on at the moment, but the hot water is on twice a day, which keeps the temperature pretty constant, pretty high up towards the mid-20s plus. But given the current ambient temperature, I think I may have gone a bit over the top on that. I haven't got an LCD thermometer on the side, and it seems to have slowed down to virtually nothing, to be fair. I may have to test that, to be fair. I think it may already be done. Obviously I did it with a young super wine yeast compound. I have done a video of me making this, although I haven't edited it yet. It's on the chopping block, and that will be on my playlist fairly shortly, possibly before this Homebrew Wednesday goes up, so you can have a look at what methods I used to knock this together. From memory, the OG was about 1044, so it's only going to come out about, I don't know, 5.5–6%. So the wine yeast compound, you know, will smash that, no problem. And I think it's been in since Saturday, so it's had 3 days, nearly 4 days now. 4 days, yeah, at quite warm temperatures. Actually, that might be finished. I may do a final gravity reading on that and then leave it out in the ambient for a couple of days and see how we go with that one. I also said I was going to have a go at the Orchard Assault hot cider that the Big CQ did. So I had a go at that over the weekend because I bought more than enough apple juice to have a go at it. So let's have a look at that now. Right, yeah. And there she blows. Big green monster, that is. It's 4 litres of apple juice, and I have dry hopped it with 25 grams, that's right, 25 grams. It's good enough for Big CQ, it's good enough for me. 25 grams of Cascade pellets that's got in it, so you can see it's broken up quite nicely, still got a little bit floating on the top. I've just pulled this. This was also in the airing cupboard next to the black currant cider. So again, I think this is quite finished because I did this on Sunday. But I'm going to leave this one out and let it cool down a bit because it's still quite warm in here anyway. Still comfortably fermentation temperatures. Probably should have left them in here full stop, to be fair. Just hope I ain't killed them by doing that. But I'll let that one clear. I'll probably wrap that into a secondary damage on. Might even clear it, might even put some findings in it, don't know, I haven't decided yet. But I'm very much looking forward to trying that one, because hop cider is the new big thing, if you will, and having never tried any, quite looking forward to having a little play with that. I did mention in my previous Homebrew Wednesday that I've just bought a corny keg setup. I bought 2 corny kegs off eBay. I'm in the process of putting together all the other bits and bobs that I need to make my system up and running on 2 kegs. So here's what I've got up to date. And there we go, 2 corny kegs. I've got my quick disconnects with 3/8 speed fits. I've got a brand new Dalex flow control tap with a 3/8 push fit. Got my 5 metres of beer line, 5 metres of CO2 line. Got my 2 corny kegs that are fresh out of soda service, because you can still smell the syrup soda inside them. They haven't been cleaned yet. And here I've got my CO2 cylinder, 14 pound cylinder, and nice shiny new, if that focuses, nice shiny new regulator. I've made a bit of a boob actually, to be fair. I've ordered a 3/8 to 3/8 connector speed fit, but I don't think this is 3/8, I think this is bigger. It might be 1/2 inch. I think I've dropped a googly there, and I don't think the normal regulator connector will actually fit up against this because it's not flat. So I might have to have a little play with that to get my gear together. My CO2 cylinder, I was having trouble finding a decent supplier for the CO2, but I'll put a link down below to the guy that I've had this off. It was delivered, well, it was actually delivered to my mum's shop because he happens to be delivering to a pub close by, but he would have delivered it to my house free of charge. That bottle was 12 quid filled. I didn't have a bottle to start with, and there's no deposit on that cylinder. So if you live in anywhere within 20 miles of centre of Birmingham, in the middle of the country, middle of England, I'll leave the guy's name and the website for the company for you to have a look at down in the comment down below the video. Well, that's it for me this week. Cheers and beers, keep on brewing, enjoy the fruits of your labours. Just before I go, I'd like to say a big shout out to all the guys that have inspired me to do homebrew videos. People like Craig Tube, people like New to Homebrew Tom, Harry Brew 69, Big CQ, who else is there? With Homebrew, SJ Paul. What I'll do is I'll put a link down below to all of these guys' own channels. If you've never looked at them, go and have a look at them. The top blokes, some really good stuff. Some of them are quite amusing. Uncle Jana as well and Brewmaster Ben, they'll all be down. Links will be down below for you to have a look at. Cheers and beers out. See you next week.